Hello and welcome. Today we are celebrating Women's Month. It's a time to honor the incredible achievements women have made around the world and also the challenges that women continue to face in their different walks of life. In this special interview, we will be speaking to Gift Dzvova, who I affectionately call Mama Gift. So forgive me if I call her Mama during the interview. Gift is a prominent leader in the banking and finance world, and we just want to talk to her about her journey, the challenges, the insights, and also how she perceives the gender equality in the banking sector. So, without further ado, I'll let Gift introduce herself. I know she wears many hats, so I will not do justice if I introduce her. Welcome, Gift.
Thank you very much, Bella, and thank you all viewers for even giving me this opportunity, to share with you my insights around the topical issue. And I was actually reflecting when you asked me to be interviewed here. I was actually saying to myself, sometimes we underrate ourselves because I never thought that I am a brand that can be celebrated and that can be shared out there in the bigger world. I thought I was just living for myself. Maybe to just, I don't think it's a correction, but it's true that I'm a retired banker. Maybe let me start off by introducing myself. I'm Gift Dzvova, as she has said. I'm a wife to Philip Dzvova, my only one husband, and I'm the only wife to him. And I'm a mother of 4 kids, twins, and girls, 2 girls, and who are already adults and having their own families and professions, and they are doing very well out there. And I'm also a grandmother of 11.
Oh, wow. Wow, 11.
11.
Wow.
Most of my kids, the 3 of my kids, they actually started early like myself.
Oh, right. 11.
And they decided to just have their children straight away.
Oh, wow.
So yes, I'm a grandmother of 11 grandchildren. Can you imagine that 2 of them are actually doing medicine?
Oh, wow.
They're in their 3rd year of medicine.
Wow, you
Yes.
are what we would call a glamour.
So they are in university
well
already.
done.
Yes. Yeah, so to be honest with you, my story is a very short story. I wouldn't want to think it's a long one.
Mm-hmm.
So when I left school, I went into the banking sector immediately. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that, I need to actually build some critical mass around academics. So whilst I was in the bank, I was actually studying. And I graduated as an associate of the Institute of Bankers. And I did my master's with ALMA. And so within the banking sector, I think I must have clocked over 30 years, 35, 36 years.
Wow.
And during which time I rose through the ranks to the last place when I retired, when I was head of corporate banking. I was dealing with large to multinational corporates, and cutting across all the sectors of the economy. So the most interesting sector that really inspired me was the mining sector, to the extent that I said in my other life after retirement, certainly I would want to be a key player within the mining sector.
That's good.
And true to my desire, that's where I am right now. Although, of course, on the mining side, we have not actually started mining. There are some preliminary things that have to be satisfied first, which we are actually going through.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe my message to the women out there is maybe the question you would have asked me is, what is your claim to fame?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, my claim to fame is that I can't be stopped if I am very convinced that this is the way to go.
Yes.
To the extent that people in the past used to call me chandagwinyira, chabatika, hanza aregerere. So I would just, I believe in myself.
True.
And but again, it has got its own downsides as well, because if you are determined and you make mistakes, the mistakes can be very grave, in the process. But, we learn through our mistakes.
Of course.
I've had my fair share of mistakes, and
Yeah.
I don't look back to regret.
Okay.
Because the moment you start regretting, you recede.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the one thing that has also helped me in my life is being able to choose my social capital. I think it's very important.
Okay.
It's important that you begin to hang around with people that can make a difference in your life.
That's true.
I know a lot of people, they want to just remain in the same place, like looking for people that they've had a relationship with maybe when they were children and stuff like that. I'm not discouraging that.
Yeah.
But if that relationship cannot change you, cannot grow you, it's a relationship that is worth abandoning.
Of course.
So my social capital is really what has actually made me to be where I am.
That's good.
I'm not, how shall I say, I'm not intimidated by anybody's position or whatever, or station in life. I am inspired instead of being intimidated. So I try to build my social capital around people that can change me.
That's true.
Yes, and certainly I want to believe that I've benefited so much from this, from my choice of social capital. Yes, it has helped me a lot. Even the word of God says, walk in the counsel of the wise, and you shall become wise.
True.
God is not a fool who actually brings across that message to us, because it's for us to learn from, and it's for us to even choose, so that at least we can have a future and a good end in life.
That's true. Yeah, spiritual is very important.
Mm.
So, Gift, I'll take you back a bit. We've heard your story. It's very inspiration story to anyone. And can you tell us what challenges did you face any challenges, or do you face any challenges as a woman in the corporate leadership?
Indeed, there were some challenges. And as you know, that the female sector has always been discriminated. Even from the home setup, family setup, traditionally they used to promote, or rather they used to put a lot of confidence, or rather, how shall I say, focus on the male child.
True.
Yes, the female child was like the second best.
Yes.
And there was a lot of investment that was traditionally put in the
boy child.
In the boy child. And as a result, it remained like that for a while. And we still see the remnants.
Yes.
Although there is some element of a shift where there is some deliberate recognition of the fact that there is gender equality, but there are still some remnants, and obviously we suffer those remnants in the working world. And I had my fair share of that, where when it comes, maybe to promotion or to recognition, they first of all look around to see whether there is a man that can actually do that job. And no matter how much you position yourself, it's difficult.
Yeah.
But let's just continue to advance the cause and to push for that awareness of gender equality. And I want to believe that at some point it will reach home.
True.
Yes.
It will.
It's a mindset that we continue to struggle
change.
with, but it will change with time.
Yeah. So have you, or are you mentoring other women?
Well, yes and no. Yeah, when I say no, because I'm not currently running with any mentorship program that are formal. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But there are certain women that actually look up to me.
Yes.
And sometimes they call me and we have a chat, or they ask me for advice here and there. I guess that is another form of mentorship.
Yes, it is.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. So in terms of a formal mentorship, I wouldn't say I do have. And again, I am running a consulting company.
Okay.
I consult on financial services.
Yes.
I facilitate capital raising for projects. I help investors to establish themselves because they don't like the idea of running around to put regulatory issues in place.
Yes.
And our environment, it's an environment of language.
Yes.
If you don't understand the language of corruption, for example, these investors, they won't know how to navigate, to come to closure.
Yes.
So you being a person who has been in Zimbabwe for the
and
rest of
also
my
on the
life,
ground,
I understand exactly, the terrain. So I help them,
That's good.
to just put things in place.
What advice would you give to women struggling to break into leadership roles?
Yes. So I guess the first thing is to be able to know yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And know yourself in terms of your identity. You are complete. You don't need anyone to make you complete. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So once you have confidence in yourself, there's no one who can then second guess you. The problem is a lot of people have to how shall I say, they are seeking validation, which is what I've actually seen in a lot of women.
Yes.
They are always out there to seek validation. That is very dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Because it means you are not sure of yourself. Yes. So if people know that you are not sure of yourself and you don't have that confidence and that fair amount of independence, they cannot entrust you with a responsibility higher than them. My second one would be, I think for women it's very intentional for you to choose your relationships. Yes, it's important that you be able to choose relationship that can make a difference in your life. Don't be intimidated by anyone who is better than you. Because you need to be a person who says to themselves, I want to learn from the best of breed.
Yes.
But the challenge that we do have here is that women tend to be threatened by somebody who is better than them.
Yeah.
You should not actually be scared. You should actually want to find out how they've done it and learn from there to be a better person yourself.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. How do you balance your high pressure decision making with your personal life?
Now that I'm retired,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. And the culture of working has now changed. We're now working on online more than just physically going to the office.
Yes.
So it's very easy, But maybe as I was pursuing a career, and I find that I've got children, I've got a husband, I've got a career to pursue, and also I've got a social life. So it can become a very difficult balance there. But I think, again, you need to be very intentional in terms of how you can allocate your time so that you minimize conflict. Yes, because all relationships are important.
Oh, yeah.
You need to go to work in order to make money, to run the family.
Yes.
You need your husband.
That's
You
true.
need children and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's just being intentional in terms of how you can actually balance the time and allocate the time. Yeah.
So throughout your journey, I know you said it spans 30 to 35 years in the industry. What, Mommy, your wow moment, the one you said, oh, wow, you can't believe I did this. What can that be? What was it?
Interesting you're asking me that, Vela. Right now, what is coming to my mind is my first experience when I was in the banking sector, when I think I'd already started having children. Okay. So of all my 4 kids, they were actually born inside 4 years. And at that juncture, we were living in what is called a bachelor's flat.
Oh.
I don't know whether you guys know what a bachelor's flat looks like.
Yes.
It's just like one big room with a kitchen and a bathroom. That's all there is to it. So you can imagine we're having your 4 kids in a bachelor's flat. And the culture there, or the policy at my place of work, which then was Barclays Bank, before before it was taken over now.
Yeah.
So Barclays Bank had a policy that did not allow women to have housing loans.
Oh, no.
Yes. Unless maybe if you are a white woman then.
Oh, my.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So let me say that why it's memorable for me is because I was the first black woman to have a housing loan.
Kudos for you.
Yes, in Barclays Bank.
Oh, wow.
Because I remember that particular day I went to my boss. Yes, and I said, I'm desperate for accommodation. And he looked at me and he was very sympathetic. And then he said to me, then he called the HR person and says, please, can you look after my staff? She's a very good person and she's a good worker. I like to keep her. So it was almost like a retention strategy, but it became like something that really broke the policy that was existing at the time. And I was then given an appointment to see the HR the following Monday. This was on a Friday. So I was then sharing with my friends, and they said, the moment you say you have got 4 kids, they will say you have no ability to repay the loan. But then I was a young Christian. I was vibrant for God. I loved God. I didn't believe in lying. I just didn't want to do nonsense. You know. So on the day I went for my interview, and one of the questions that was posed by the HR officer was that, how many children have you got? And I said, I have 4. And then he said, you deserve a house.
Oh, wow.
So this is the reason why I've always thought it's very memorable.
Yes, it is.
Because it says you deserve a house. And for sure, I then got a housing loan.
Oh, wow.
So they gave me a limit during that time of 22,000. And I managed to get my first house in Avonlea for 22,000.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to imagine 4 kids in a bachelor's flat.
This is it.
Oh my goodness! But you did good. So you opened the door for other women.
This
basically.
is it. Yeah. So others then started, to come and getting loans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Breaking the ceiling even then.
Yeah, that's why I've always thought it's. Yes, I've got a lot of memorable stuff, but that one is very outstanding.
It is.
It is very outstanding for me.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what legacy would you like to leave for us, for women in general, women in the finance, women in the mining?
Yes.
Yeah, what legacy?
I want to leave you with a legacy that says, my mother, because when it comes to about you, you're calling, I'm your mother.
Yes.
Says my mother was a daring woman.
Yes.
My mother would not have a no for an answer. My mother was independent.
True.
Yes. So I think those things really make the person you want to become, in order to make a difference out there in the world. Yeah. To know yourself, to be daring, not to be stopped, and to have self-confidence. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So that's the legacy that I want to leave you with.
All right.
You must be a woman who knows themselves.
That's true. Anyway, I don't want to take too much of your time. Any parting shots that I might have missed, or anything that you want to say out there?
To be honest with you, I don't think I have anything more to share. But just take this message out there to the bigger world that women need to be confident of themselves. They don't need any validation at all.
Thanks very much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And I myself have learned a lot. Here you go, viewers. You had it all. As women, we don't need validation from anybody. Be confident and choose your friends wisely. And ask God all the time before you get into the boardroom, and you be your spiritual guide. And don't let anybody intimidate you. So as we continue to celebrate Women's Month, let's keep supporting each other and celebrate each other. And from me, Bella, it's been a good day, and it's a good month too for me. And I need to mention that Gift is also my spiritual mentor. I'm this because of her. So I really appreciate her. And so please continue watching and following our channel, and remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, stay blessed.